another podcast regarding women in history. Today we're doing something totally different. Michele Clark decided to kick off our 2026 Trailblazer Award, and today we have some of our Trailblazers here for the podcast. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
So just everyone take a moment. What's your name and what do you do? What's your role?
Hi, I am Miss Fetter. I am a diverse learner teacher here at Michele Clark. I think this is year 8 or 9. I lost count. But that is my role. I teach math, and I'm a fellow Eagle with everybody here.
My name is Judith, and my role here is like a freshman at Michele Clark.
My name is Officer Young, and that alone says who I am and what I do. Well, not who I am, but it's what I do.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, welcome, ladies. We want to take a moment to say thank you for being amazing women at school, here in our community. So, our first question is, what is trailblazer? What does it mean to be a trailblazer to you, personally, professionally, in the community? However you want to answer it, but what does that mean to you?
Yeah. So I think being a trailblazer, I mean, obviously, like you can think about it, it's like setting a path forward. When I was thinking about this question, it made me think of my grandmother, because she was also a teacher, and she was very ahead of her times in terms of like her education, just sort of her, like her style, just everything, the things that she was accepting in the world that like other people were not quite there yet. And one of my favorite memories that I've always had is just sitting and talking with my grandmother about teaching and about her classroom. She was a kindergarten teacher, and she was so excited to know that I was going to become a teacher as well. And every day after my like student teaching in college, like I would call her and tell her about it. Unfortunately, she passed away the middle of my senior year of college, so she never actually got to see me be a teacher. But I think about like me being a trailblazer is that like continuing in her legacy. At her funeral, she had former students there, which is crazy. And they were coming up to my mother and me and just saying like, wow, like, your mom, your grandma, she like saved my life. She was a kindergarten teacher, and like these are students that like went back to visit every year, and like she made sure to like help everybody and make sure like all the ones that were societally, I would say, off track were always kind of like her babies. And so these are the people that she just sort of helps put forward into the world. And so as a teacher, I believe we're preparing the next generation. I'm following in my grandmother's footsteps in her legacy as another teacher, and just being a trailblazer by teaching other students to, be who they are and to go on the path in life. So that's what it means to me.
Thank you, Sarah.
I feel like it just means like setting a good example for like the future, and like path. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So being a good example, setting a great example, and then on the right track path forward. Okay. Thanks, Judith. Officer Young.
When I think of a trailblazer, I think of someone who sets the tone for the path. Not saying that everyone takes the same path, but knowing that you can create a path if one doesn't work, and really like standing true within that. And regardless of what people think, this is your path. You take it, you run with it, and you create what you need to create. So I think that's what makes you a trailblazer.
Okay. Just like a little part B to that question. So I heard Ms. Fetter say like your grandmother is like one that kind of set the path for you. Officer Young or Judith, are there any individuals that kind of, would you say, inspired you or was a trailblazer to you personally?
I would say like my godmom and my mom. Like I feel like I really appreciate that like my mom is not one of those parents that like just doesn't like like, is cool with a lot of things. Like, there's certain things especially that I can't do and I can do. Like I'm not allowed to wear pajamas to school because that looks bad. And, like, my godmom is, like, deep into her faith, and, like, the guidance she gives me, like, I just try to pass that on to others. So, yeah.
Shout out to your mom and your godmom.
I would say my mom. She hard worker. Nothing stopped her. Knee surgery, she's still up mopping. Like, it was like, go get it, no matter what that looks like. Strong to her own, fault. But she's just a very, very strong. Now she suffers from dementia, and she's still fairly young. She's only 75. So, her as an individual, just showing, like, no matter what it is, you can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. She's always the person. Even today, I can still, when she's having her moments, when you want something. Prime example, I remember I went to go get my motorcycle license. So then when you go in, you have to sign this waiver and say you can become dismembered, you could die, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I leave out the classroom. And I call, I'm like, Mom, they want me to sign this waiver. And she's like, do you know ride a motorcycle? I'm like, yes. She was like, okay, get back in there. And I was like, but Mom, she was like, do you want it or not? Right. And so that kind of set that tone of, do you want it or not? So that's my thought process. If I want it, I got to go get it.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Even if it's uncomfortable. No matter, uncomfortable, you're going to cry. I just got my master's. Just got my master's in August. And that's in exercise science with a concentration in sports nutrition. Oh. So that was a struggle. And the struggle became because I'm older and trying to get through it, and I have children, and just trying to navigate that space was difficult. It was many days that I said, what was I thinking? Why am I doing this? And it was not until that day of graduation. I became a mom at 17.
Okay.
So the kid that I had at 17 made it home 30 minutes before my graduation. He came home from the Army. He was at my graduation. And I'm just sitting there when I saw him, I just everything. I'm like, this is about you. Even though I have other children, it was that moment, like, you get to see your mom. Like, she never stopped. So that's kind of like me being a mom and learning from my mom and just being that role model for my children to say, hey, no matter what it is, no matter how long it takes, you get it done. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you all for sharing. Very impactful. Ms. Fetter, anything you want to add on to? Is there anyone else outside of Grandma that I know you talked about, but anyone else outside of it?
Yeah, I would say that I had a teacher. She was my special ed teacher that I had when I was in high school, Ms. Zuckerman. And I think she was a person who really believed in me, and I believed her that she believed in me. So I think that there is a part of me that would also sort of say that Ms. Zuckerman and my grandma are two women in my life that sort of instilled a lot of my values and what I believe in and what I go for. When I said that I wanted to be a teacher, Ms. Zuckerman was, of course, this is for you 100%. Your students are going to be lucky to have you, all whatever the things. But when I was in school was very hard for me. And I don't know, it was just having someone sort of believe in me, tell me that I was capable. It taught me to believe in my ability to do things, even if things looked different than other students and what other students were doing. She really just instilled in this, I'm on my path, and I'm my journey is the right journey for me. And that's something, to this day, I still call her Miss Zuckerman, even though she has told me many times to call her Sue. Like I can't switch over to it. And she still has like my prom picture hanging up in her office. And, you know, I graduated in 2004. So it's just sort of like, just to sort of think about, you know, students have as much of an impact on teachers as they do on us. But in terms of just like where I am now, in terms of teaching and teaching the subject and the topic that I do teach, I mean, it stems, I think, just a lot of it is from my grandmother, just sort of sharing that, and just being able to, like, on rough days, there are definitely times that I will talk to my grandma about it, you know, and then even just right now, for my high school's like reunion, there's like some, I think 100-year celebration or something like that. Mrs. Zuckerman is the one that's like being honored. And so it's just like, it's just nice to know she's still there. And, you know, I know that the kids are in good hands, and I know that there's going to be another future me's, because I know that Miss Zuckerman is going to be like leading the path. So I would say she's another woman that definitely instilled a lot in me. Outside of like, you know, my mom, who of course I think also plays a huge role, but I'm just saying outside of that.
Okay. And so what advice or what encouragement can you give to our young ladies, your friends, in regards to being a trailblazer or starting on a path to being a trailblazer? Anyone that wants to start.
I think that a path is not linear, right? Like it can go in circles, it can go up and down. It's always okay to restart. You're never actually back at square one. Like once you've learned something, like you can't unlearn it, you know. You can change, you can grow. There's no time frame. There's nothing that says like, oh, by 25 you need to do this, by 35 you need to do this. You know, it's be true to who you are. Your journey is unique to you. And I think that just like not sort of taking off that pressure that like you have to do X, Y, and Z by a certain point, or your path might look different than another path, and it doesn't, another like woman's path, and it doesn't make it any less valid or any less real or anything. So I just think my advice is to just always know that like it's your journey. There's going to be twists and turns. It's not a straight path. You can start wherever you are. It doesn't matter your age. You know, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. Great advice.
Yeah, like I agree with the timeline. Like I believe like that everything's on like God's timing. Like how I started like golf recently. Like I feel like for a time I was thinking like, man, I should have started sooner so I could be better now. But like I think it was just like it happened at the time it should happen. And like advice, I think like you should believe like that everything happened because like everything you achieved is because of God. Like I didn't get an A in math because like, oh, it's because me. It's because I prayed before my math test. It's because I prayed like so I could get these grades. And like everything is just because like you achieved is because of him. And I feel like you should just be thankful for that and know that. So yeah.
I love to hear teens talk about God. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, officer.
My advice would be, you set the tone. No one sets it for you. And regardless of what that looks like, stay true to it. And you're going to run into people who have their opinions, and that's exactly what they are, an opinion. And you can do whatever it is, no matter how long it takes. And I say that to say that life will happen. I was 19 when I lost my dad. So that was a huge hurdle that I'm still not over. But you have to continue. Like, never stop. I don't care what happens. Life, you're going to have losses, and celebrate those milestones. Celebrate every win. If it's that grade, if it's you made your bed, if you learned something new, you celebrate all that, because that's an accomplishment. No accomplishment is small. One may say, oh, well, you just did. I didn't just do anything. I did it.
Right.
So just stand true to you, and don't let anyone change that. So whatever that looks like. If you want to wear polka dots with stripes, if you want your hair blonde or black, whatever that looks like, stay true to that and don't let anyone change it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for accepting the honor to honor you as our 2026 Trailblazers from Michele Clark. But I hope women, students, everyone, just take heed to the advice that was given today. Take a moment and share with whoever you mentioned that inspired you or that has set this path out for you. If they're still living, of course, share it. But just continue to be a beacon of light, because you all have been that. And we don't take it lightly. So thank you for sharing with us on the Michele Clark podcast in regards to Women's History Month. Thank you, Trailblazers. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.